Holiday 2014 Travel Exclusives. Today's video is dedicated to the 2014 holiday season, and the Givenchy and Dior palettes that I have before me are both 2014 holiday exclusive, and they are very travel friendly as well. So the two I have before me are this gorgeous Dior clutch, which includes lip colors, eyeshadows, a blush, and a highlighter, and also this Givenchy travel kit, which includes eyeshadows, face powder, and a blush as well. So let's just get started with what the contents look like. In lieu of the recent holiday season, I decided to step out of my comfort zone a bit and branch out with this new lip color. The one I'm wearing right now is from NYX, and it's color 511 in Chaos. For a quick side note, I just got this at Target. It was $3.99, and I do like this formula because it doesn't smell too plasticky, and it really is smooth and moisturizing on the lips. And this is what the color looks like. And for a quick swatch on the back of my hand, it's a very deep pink-based red. It's not kind of those brick reds, which is kind of what I was looking for, which would be more brown toned. But this is pretty holiday appropriate, and it's very cheerful and bright colors. So just as a side note, that's a lip color that I'm wearing because usually I don't wear such dark lip colors. So before we get started, I just wanted to quickly apologize for the constant refocusing sound that you'll hear from the lens. It's the motor that's trying to focus in on the picture and everything, so until I get that setting worked out, it will probably zoom in and out as it's trying to focus on my face and whatever products I'll be demonstrating. So let's first get started with this gorgeous palette from Dior, which kind of doubles up as a clutch. I'll see once I'm finished using all the colors and contents inside if I can just use this as a clutch, but regardless, this is great for travel, and it is marketed as a travel-friendly item. And what I appreciate about this packaging is the full zip, which will help to protect the contents in the case of travel. So this is what the interior looks like. Here you have a highlight shade, you have a blush shade, you have 6 eyeshadow options, and you have 2 lip colors. The first being a gloss and the second being more of a lipstick creamy type feel to it. And there are also 2 applicators. As with most palettes, the applicators I don't find to be too useful, but the great thing about this one applicator is it can be folded up like such to give you a more precise application, for example, when you want to use a highlighter. And it can also be opened up to give you a more flat brush when you want to apply a blush color below the highlight shade. Now I'm wearing both highlight and blush on my cheeks right now, so you can probably see in this lighting because it does give off a nice glow, and that's all thanks to this palette. So I thought having a feature like that in this palette is pretty creative, and it's very handy for travel especially. Right now I'm just grabbing some of this blush color and apply it to the apples of my cheeks. Next I'm going to fold the brush in half and just dip it in some of the highlighter portion and highlight the upper cheekbone. I also like to highlight down the bridge of my nose and a bit on the forehead, and this will just give it a really luminous glow. As you can probably see through this camera that the glow does show up, and it's more golden toned. It's not a cool tone highlight, so I think a light gold shade such as this is pretty flattering, and especially flattering when you pair it with a red lip like I did myself. So I think those colors are very complementary to each other. So now for the eyeshadows. The first one is a light kind of taupe matte color that I would kind of use as a transition color on the eye crease if you want more of a natural look. And the shade above it is kind of a light rose gold tone. I would use this all over my lid if I want a more, once again, natural look. And here to the right of that you have a darker light brown chocolate shade, and you could wear that all over your lid, but I prefer to use that in the outer third of my eye to create a smoky eye effect. The next color is this gold shade, which is typical in most Dior Quints because they always tend to have this glitter shade to just add more dimension to your eye. So for example, I like to put some of the product on my finger and just press it onto the center of my lid, and this will just give a nice 3-dimensional glittery look, and that's great for New Year's Eve or any holiday parties. The dark gunmetal color in the corner is great if you want to just line your eyes or apply it once again to the outer third of your eyes to give it a more smoky look. And the same could be said for this middle shade, which is kind of a more purple toned taupe color. I wouldn't consider it very brown, but it's more cool and purple toned. So now for the lip colors, there's this light pink gloss, which is a bit lighter than my natural lip color, so I'd say it's kind of a light rose color. And the gloss on top is one of the Dior Addict glosses. So I know the Dior Addict glosses are the lip glosses in the tube, so this is of course a slightly different formula, but I think the look will be kind of similar because this does have some sort of shimmer to it as well. Now I'm going to demonstrate a few of the eyeshadow colors. First, I'm going to start off with this lightest shade on the far left-hand side. I like to put this in the first third of my eye. Next, I jump on to this medium brown shade and just pop it on the outer half of my eye to just give it more dimension. So this palette retails for $85, and most Dior Quints, which include 5 eyeshadows, are already $60. So for $80 you get 6 eyeshadows, a blush, a highlight, and 2 lip colors, as well as a handy travel case. So I guess for $25 more you get a whole bunch more options, but honestly I do feel the formula is a bit different. When I just get the Dior Quints, the eyeshadows are a bit more creamy, and both of these, the blush and the highlighter, are a bit flaky, and as you can see it produces quite a bit of fallout in the palette. And another factor I don't like is that the lip gloss colors on the far right hand side are very close to the eyeshadows, and therefore the eyeshadow fallout can transfer into the lip gloss colors. But that's not something that's atypical with these sort of palettes. It happens in any palette. It's not just the fault of this palette. That's how most of them are laid out, and I do hear a lot of complaints about that fallout issue. But overall, I think this is a great palette to travel with, and the color combinations are pretty neutral. They do advertise that you can create a glow look as well as a smoky look, and I do believe that to be true because these colors aren't too outlandish, and they're flattering for many types of skin tones. So here we have the Givenchy Travel Exclusive Makeup Must-Haves. Now, let me first jump into the price because this truly is a steal. This is only $40, and it includes eyeshadows, a face powder, a blush, and applicators on the bottom, which are somewhat useful, but I don't prefer to use the included applicators from most palettes that I receive. But for $40, this truly is a steal, and you will see why in just a few moments. So let's first start off with the eyeshadow colors. This eyeshadow quad is in the color Purple Show. They're very rosy toned, and if you want to compare this to the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, I'm sure you can, but they are still a bit different. For example, the pink in the corner is very much a true pink. Out of the 4 colors, I'd have to say this taupe color right here is my favorite because it seems to be the most wearable and not as dramatic as this purple brown color, but that color is great for placing it in your crease area or darkening the lash line and just tying everything together. And lastly, there's this nice gold color which you can apply to the center of your lids or just brighten up your inner eye area. This foundation color is in the color 84 Beige Mouseeline. So this foundation color is actually one of the options from Givenchy's permanent line. So I would say this color is pretty close to my normal skin tone, and if it is a bit darker, I could always use it as a contour color. And the great thing about this is there's the option of 4 separate shades, so you could even use this as an eyeshadow primer, not a primer, but kind of like a powder primer to erase all color from your eyes and just give it a really smooth, clean base to work with. I do that sometimes. I would say there's a pretty good range of yellow tone, pink tone, brown tone, and more of a cool tone color. So if you swirl them all together, I think you get a pretty good overall powder look. So when swiped together, this is what the result looks like. And if I apply it, it blends seamlessly in. As with most Givenchy products, I've tried their fluid foundation before, and they all have this somewhat flowery smell. It's pleasant, but if you don't like smells, I don't think you're gonna like these formulas because this powder formula is still lightly scented with their signature scent in most of their products. Now for the blush color. This is in color 22 Vintage Pink, and as the title suggests, this is very pink, and if you pair it with a red lip, it could work, but you just don't want to overpower it with too much pink tones, I feel like, on your face. But as with the face powder, there are 4 quads, so that you have 4 different options of color. You have a more coral toned, you have a darker dusty rose color, which I used to like to use as a contour slash blush, a 2-in-1 product. And you also have a light pink color, which once again can be doubled up as an eyeshadow. And you also have this light, almost bronzing powder color, but still in the pink tone family. So once swirled all together, this is what the colors looks like. It's quite pink on the hands, so I would recommend using a light fluffy brush and not applying it too densely because this will just give you a really healthy, nice looking glow without being too much of a contour look. So lastly, let me go over the applicators, which I don't typically use in palettes, but they're a nice option to have. So this is the one for the face and cheek powder. And there's also a simple sponge applicator. I will have to give props on the packaging because this will look really nice on a vanity or makeup counter. And it has Givenchy in silver letters on the top, and it lifts up like this with a mirror, and all 3 compartments below all pull out for your convenience. And so I do like that aspect of it because you won't get the blush powder and the face powder, and everything is separate and clean and organized. And like I said, for $40, this is a really great deal if you want multiple products in one and you want to jump on the holiday exclusive bandwagon. And just in case if you forget the color names, everything is listed below. And this product was made in Italy by LVMH fragrance brands. So I hope you enjoyed this holiday 2014 video, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos. I most recently uploaded a video on my new Chanel bag that I received from my boyfriend, so feel free to go ahead and check it out because that was quite an exciting day when I got my first Chanel. So yeah, go ahead and check it out if you want, and once again, thanks for watching.